Schoen picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down?
That is a score for Hartlicker Elferkel. Fantastic run by Julia Lutz.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe Ulti TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of Ulti TV.
Regardez Ulti TV.
Deviens un membre d'Ulti TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Stop Ulti TV. Följ Eroginkime, Ultimate Avandromena. Si quieres ayudar a Ulti TV, puedes ser miembro de Ulti TV.
Everyone, follow Ulti.tv on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love frisbee. Just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på Ulti TV.
Became member
of Ulti TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec Ulti TV.
Like and subscribe, Ulti TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
With thousands of hours of experience,
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
we work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and news stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Ulti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Wrocław. We are live in Poland for the Joint Juniors Ultimate Championships, an event that combines the European Youth Ultimate Championships at the under-17 level and the World Junior Ultimate Championships at the under-20 level. And we have under-20 action for you now coming at you. We've got a mixed division game between the Netherlands and Israel. My name is Benjamin Rees, an absolute pleasure as always to be back with you here on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel, and I am joined by Christina Obermeier.
Good morning, or good day rather, because it's already
morning
1
is very
PM.
much gone gone out the window now. Yeah, early afternoon here. Third game of the day, bringing you action from the mixed lower pool, Netherlands versus Israel.
Yeah, both teams have managed to win some games, as Israel has 1 win under their belt and Netherlands mix has 2 wins so far. Both battling to get another W on the board.
So these two sides are now in the lower pool. The way that the under-20 mixed division works in terms of just in terms of format, there was a round robin between 7 teams. The top 3 teams go to a top power pool, and the other 4 go into a bottom power pool. The top 2 teams in the top power pool play for the gold medal, and the other team in that top power pool plays the top team in the bottom power pool for the bronze medal. So, for the Netherlands, Slovakia, Israel and Colombia, it's now about jostling for position in that bottom group in order to try and come top and fight for a bronze medal at the end of the week. And in a pool where every team won at least 1 game in the initial pool phase, it really does feel like it's very much all up for grabs.
It really does, as this under-20 mixed round is starting now, so all of the teams are playing this round here. We'll keep you updated on other live scores. If you want to support your own, the rest of the teams playing now, you can go to WJUC.sport, where you can follow all the live scores. But we do hope you stay with us for this really intense game that is about to unfold.
So these two sides, as we mentioned, met in the initial pool round robin phase. The Netherlands there came out on top quite comfortably in the end, 15-6 final score. But you know what they say, it's tough to beat the same team twice.
It is, and as this week progresses, teams are getting stronger and stronger, finding connections. And we're going to see what Israel can get off of the Netherlands in the second time of asking.
So the Netherlands receiving to begin the game. Looking for an underneath pass there, that's incomplete, so Israel with an early break opportunity.
Red zone opportunity for Israel. They set up in a abundance of people.
I assume it's meant to be a stack, but it's very bunchy.
It's a hive.
Valenci will pick up and collects the pop off there. You see that he calls for a bit more organisation downfield. Not really pleased with what he's seeing. Still count rising now, so chooses to put one into the middle of the stack, and it ricochets around before it hits the turf.
A lot of people touched that disc. One of them could have come up with it, but no one does. And there's a big putt up for the Netherlands.
Receiver tries to track it down, but in the end just didn't quite have the gas.
Had to guess where that disc lands as well. And it just hits the ground rather than the receiver's hands. A messy point to start with.
So Israel with a second break opportunity early on here. And Israel want to take a leaf out of the Netherlands playbook and look deep themselves. The layout from Gazit got there, but his hand couldn't quite close. Joel, could you move the camera out of the way for me?
Vidcam with the disc in his hands. Puts it to the middle.
They were looking for a shot down the sideline, but they didn't like what they saw. Now coming underneath, Hansma. Big fake from Van den Brink. Fakes the first option. Tries to get someone coming into this underneath space. Is Capelletti. Turns, looks at the reset, doesn't like it, wants to go up line again. Can they force this into the end zone? They're going with the hammer over the top, and it's a brilliant way to access that soft space on the far side. And the Netherlands will get the first point on the board at 1-0.
A good connection, I believe. Vidcam with the goal. Morris Vidcam played with Kut in the World Championship, as well as the thrower there, I believe. Wiebe van den Brink, also a club player. His career highlight with was XUCF 2021, which, if he played with Club, he won that as well.
You can see there, it just bounces off Gazit's hands. As you mentioned, here's the repeat of the score. Capoletti used another one rocking the mullet. Gets the little pop-up line, and then we have the hammer over the top. You mentioned there that, yeah, you can't really talk about the Netherlands without mentioning Klut. At the moment, Witcombe leads the team in stats. 12 assists and 4 goals, although we'll now make that 5.
No surprise there.
And Van den Brink is second with 9 assists and 7 goals as well.
Doing some of the heavy lifting for that Dutch under-20 mixed side, as they have loads of national and international experience under their belts rather.
The first time these two met, Witcombe registered 2 goals and 2 assists. So disc is going to be brought in at the brick mark here. Salant with those gloved hands, stride forward. You see Israel, as they are often want to do, rocking the blue hair dye. Salant picks up. Wants to find an option. Tries to isolate one downfield, doesn't see it. Puts the disc deep. It's gonna land in bounds, and be caught by for the score by Adriel Schuster-Saloni.
That score was perfection. I thought that disc would maybe land out of bounds or be too far, but perfectly weighted into the front cone there, and does a little bit of tiptoeing, but what a score for the Israeli side. Clinical hold there.
I don't know if you can do a high stall punt any better than that, to be honest. Well weighted, defender never had a shot at it. I thought he was going for that slashing across the front, but no, he wound up and he cranked it deep, and Schuster-Saloni judges this well. He is racking up the stats, 10 assists. That's now 19 goals for him as well. So, it's not bad, that. You take those. You take those as well. You take those all day.
Schuster-Saloni's career highlight is EYUC with Team Israeli under 17 in 2019. He also played at Tom's Tourney this year with New Age. He said that was a great experience for him.
New Age, one of Israel's top club teams, to the extent that Ben Zion, the Israeli coach, actually has a New Age tattoo on the back of his left calf.
Does he?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can. I mean,
oh,
you
yeah,
might
I
be able
can
to
see
see
it
that.
right here.
Yeah.
Is he number 11 on that team?
I assume so. Yes.
His tattoo also involves a number 11.
That one low, the laying out bid can't save it. Netherlands' offense has looked a little messy, but so far the Dutch haven't been able to capitalise. Looking for the shot into the end zone. Everyone seemed to stop, so I suspect there's a call somewhere.
There's a pick.
Having a very helpful Dutch sideline here.
Not so sure if that pick will influence the play. Get the disc back or not.
Yeah, don't really have a view on this. But in the end, they're going to decide that it did not affect and that the turnover will stand.
So get out of jail free card played by the Netherlands. Witcombe with the disc in his hands.
Yeah, bounds forward to the brick mark. Nice initiating cut underneath. Dished off. Getting close towards the sideline. Now swinging it across the back. This looking a lot more rhythmic from the Dutch offense. And there's the big shot out of the hand of Witcombe. Really well reeled in over the head of Efron by Jade Hansma.
Sticky fingers there from Hansma to collect that disc. Beautiful shot by Witcombe.
There is a very loud Dutch sideline lurking somewhere. I can't quite see it, but oh, there it is on the screen. I can certainly hear it.
So Jade Hansma started playing Frisbee because her parents used to play Ultimate and it sounded fun. We just recognized that there's a second Hansma sister, Amber, on the team as well, but number 34, Jade Hansma, getting that catch in the end zone. She has been playing for 5.5 years, which is quite a lot for someone that young.
Yeah, this is the thing you see a lot now even at the junior levels, is there's so few people who are fresh to the sport. Generally, the bulk have been playing at least a couple of years, and it's great seeing people start so young, but also it does make you feel old.
Yeah, it does, but that's fine.
That's it.
Can't really change it, can we?
I'm young at heart.
Of course you are.
Actually, I'm not even sure that that's true.
Oh, I think it is. Known you for quite a bit.
Here's the pool, soaring high in the Wrocław sky and tailing out of bounds. So, Israel, for the second O point in a row, will get the disc at the brick mark, and if I'm the Netherlands, I'd make sure that Schuster Shaloni doesn't get a chance to go deep.
And maybe prevent a huck with a straight up mark or something?
Or even play a little bit of zone. Swung to Valencia on this near side. Trying to move and manipulate people around downfield. Instead, going back to Salant. Trying to pick apart the Dutch zone, find those spaces and seams. Kaufman.
Directing traffic here.
Been very impressed with the lefty handler's efforts this week.
Yeah, you just got a natural advantage being a lefty.
It is cheating, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Really envious of those who can do it.
Now, you can see pointing exactly where she wants Salant to go, but it just gave Mayo the tip-off. And this one rolling into the end zone, that's a tough read, and it just was out of reach for Vela Janssen.
Janssen. Isn't that a name we know? Maybe it's just a
rings a bell. Her brother does play Ultimate.
Ah, she won EUCF with Kurt. Look at that. She might even be one of the Janssen siblings.
It does sound suspiciously like it might be. There's the deep shot from Israel, looking for Schuster Shaloni, and again it works for his 20th goal of the tournament.
What a beautiful shot there. I'm not even surprised that one goes up to Schuster Shaloni again. Defensive matchup couldn't really close the gap.
Yeah, if the Netherlands are to come out on top in this game, they need to find a way to shackle that connection. And I think maybe they know it because we have a Dutch timeout here. So good opportunity to get a little breather in the booth, and we'll let you get one at home as well, but we'll be back with you imminently.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
our
work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Ulti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
World Juniors action here at WJUC, the Joint Juniors Ultimate Championships. Under 20 mixed division here. We've got the Netherlands taking on Israel, and so far all on serve at 2 apiece. But I think Israel's offense has generally looked a bit more secure than the Netherlands has. Certainly, it's given up the disc a lot less.
On the other hand, Israel has not really converted on any break opportunities either.
Flowing down the near sideline, De Jong wants to look into the backfield. Little high release there. Finds Jade Hansma. Yes, there's another Hansma as well. Here's the pop. Vidkum running a bit of 1-2 there with Van den Brink. Cappelletti. Nice little popping off and give going. Now they turn. Want to redirect the flow of traffic. Van den Brink with that pride wristband. Fakes down the line. Little pop off then. Cappelletti. Pick potentially?
Yeah, I think so. The sideline and also the players on the field showing the hands out, guns out signal. This goes back to Van den Brink.
So the Dutch not far outside the Israeli end zone now, looking to convert their first clean hold of the game. Cheeky little scuba out of the top, but if you've seen Dutch teams play, you know that they're not adverse to that. They're just slowly playing it around the back now, though. They've got the swing available if they want it, but they're focusing on getting the disc over towards that break side. There's a stoppage downfield again, another pick, I think.
Another pick, the stack. Not very clean for the Dutch side. As the handlers are not really looking downfield, but only working it between themselves.
So we come back in now. Nice little give-go pop pass and then into the end zone. Just rushed that shot to Lievstro. That has got to be frustrating.
Israeli fans cheering on the sideline just in front of us.
So having worked this so calmly, just rushed that shot to the end zone a little bit.
A foul call. Foul call on the play will stop. Stop the flow a little bit as it seems to be on the reset. It's an uncontested foul.
So the player's just trying to resolve this. Israel's offense now back in play. Lavi wants to find the reset. Tunic squirrels his way free. That disc is a little bit low, and Scherer can't get her hands underneath it. Jade Hansma will pick up. Seems to be recovered from breaking his pelvis a couple of months ago.
Oh,
yeah,
that
I know.
Hurtful.
Nails. If I broke my pelvis, I don't think you'd see me for years. Hansma working the disc all the way towards the break side, the Dutch. Just past the bidding defender. Playing it quickly, trying to sag off. That opens up the break side shot. There they go into the end zone. That time it is stuck right on the receiver. Brilliant throw. Well-timed cut to the break side as well from the Dutch. Will make it 3-2 in their favour.
Not a clinical hold again for the Dutch side, but putting enough pressure on the Israelis to get that disc back in possession and score on the second attempt.
Going to see it again here on the replay. That's that bid from Gazit. He's not afraid to throw himself about if needs be. And then they take advantage of that peel off. Hit it towards the break side. And it is a lashed in from Van den Brink to Jade Hansma again.
So the game is on serve. The Netherlands up 3-2 to Israel. About 20 minutes played in this game. The games are 100 minutes in total, or stopping at a hard cap of 15 points with a halftime at 8.
Just saw a shot there of Gazit for Israel, getting a bit of tape up on the sideline, so hopefully he's able to continue. Going out towards the far sideline, Schuster Shaloni holsters the backhand, goes into the backfield instead. Salant getting it downfield to Schuster Shaloni. Efron takes off deep, but looking to get that handler movement going. Little give go. Now it might go no, faking. Back into the backfield to Salant. Valenci. It's going to be a stoppage here. Valenci actually leads Israel in assists with 11, in addition to a couple of goals. Haven't seen him get on the stat sheet yet this game. Faced up against a monstrous mark in Dirks and blading to the end zone. The shot for Schuster Shaloni, well defended.
Kumans getting the tough matchup of Schuster Shaloni, and this time getting the better of him. Good coverage from the Dutch.
So that's Twan Kumans as opposed to his sister Priscilla. Both of them based in Veenendaal. That's a bit of a tongue twister, which was the venue for the 2017 European Youth Ultimate Championships. And also, I believe, younger brother of Nick, as that one is thrown right back to Schuster Shaloni. Salant now wants to shoot to the end zone. And, well, he tried to drag the toe his feet on the sideline, but he was comfortably in anyway. Valenci makes it 3 apiece.
Beautiful stuff from Israel, getting that back. Good poach blocker now. Putting that disc into the near side here. Front cone of the end zone as well.
You're just seeing the value there of always kind of having an eye on the thrower and on the disc, because it means if the disc, when it goes up, if you're in a good position, you can, if you need to, just peel off into that space. We'll see it again on the replay. Picked up, and Shaloni almost baiting that, it seemed. He was there so quickly. And then lovely just rolling the wrists around that. Well in bounds. 3 apiece.
Good stuff from the Israeli team. And I love the blue hair some of them are sporting.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, please do.
I love the idea behind it.
You don't like the color?
It's not for me.
Okay.
I think I'd maybe go with a darker blue.
A darker blue, but
yeah, it's a little bit.
Would you still see it in dark hair then?
Well,
darker
no.
blue.
I think generally what you have to do is you have to bleach your hair first before you put it in, and you can actually see a lot of them have kind of embraced that, and you can see the bleach as well. But it's one of those things where it's about, it's an honour to represent your country, and when you do it, it's kind of one of those kind of rites of passage, those rituals that you that you bust out the bleach and the hair dye, and
I love it.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed not to see the Dutch go bright orange.
Oh, we would have loved to see that. Maybe they can do that next time.
Actually, you know what? Maybe you're talking me round on this.
Oh.
Everyone just dye your hair the colours of the national flag, or just your national colours, I guess, because orange is naturally on the Dutch flag. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, we do.
More give go between Hansma and Van den Brink. Rimkovic. So the disc is trying to be trapped on the sideline, looking to go up the line. And again, Hansma's overthrown.
Very low disc there. Just not connecting. And another chance for Israel, but they have to work it all the way down the field.
Yeah, it's not the
sideline here.
It's not the first time that the Netherlands have got close to the end zone, and it feels like they haven't adjusted their throws properly. Nice undercut into space, but poached off and then immediately turned over again. A little bit sloppy from both sides of that.
A little bit sloppy, yeah, but there was a pick call a very long time ago, and I think there has to be some... So there definitely wasn't any cuts developing from the stack because the whole entire stack was standing. recognizing that there was a pick called.
So the resolution here is I think they're going to say, well, Israel get it in one place or Israel get it in another place. So both sides tap the ground. Israel will bring it from the front of their end zone. Again, second possession this point. But so far, big Ofer on break chances. The morning put a bit of air underneath it. Well tracked, deep downfield by Efron. Efron goes to Lavi. The sideline quite loudly gesturing that they want the timeout called here. But Tunik's got no mark, and he wants to sit this IO backhand into space. It's going to float and ripped down for the game's first break. The Netherlands have been too profligate, and finally Israel makes them pay.
Tunik with that throw there. Has been playing for 6 years. His sporting hero is Khalif Al-Salam. I watched his highlights and immediately knew that I wanted to improve my level. Inspiring Frisbee players all over.
What he did there, because with no mark, rather than try and force something, he was like, I'm going to holster this till I find something I really like. He can properly sit that IO backhand into space, and I think it's Una who rips it down out of the sky. And the Netherlands, they've given Israel enough chances, and you felt that if they kept doing that, eventually they'd be punished.
Yeah, they will be. But they had so many opportunities. They had a short field opportunity there, just a bit of a miscommunication. Turns the disc over to Israel once again.
So a bit of cloud cover come overhead after clear skies this morning, but I don't think there's any real threat of rain. As far as I'm concerned, it just doesn't rain in Wrocław. 4 times I've been here, never felt a drop.
I felt a drop yesterday, but actually just a single drop. And that was it.
I don't want to call you a liar, but I'll just say that I did not.
Rachel did too.
Yeah, I know, it's because I was sat under here. So it's, to be fair, that would shield it off. That ball's going to curve back towards Israel's end zone. Picked up by Maya. Nice underneath cut. Creates separation there. Mecking. There's a little break in. Continues with that inside backhand and another pick. Cool.
It was a beautiful shot, that inside backhand lefty.
Yeah, taking advantage of that inherent lefty advantage there, Mulder. I would really like if the Netherlands could sort out their downfield spacing. That one really well snagged and looking for the down the line pass. Despite the bid from Mulder, they come up empty.
That was a bit rushed, giving the disc to Israel again.
Mulder, by the way, went on the player survey. When asked what we should look for, he told us that it's a secret, which kind of evades the point of filling in the player survey.
I bet it's that he's a lefty and he has great break throws. I'd look for that in the future.
I'd buy that. This hits the floor through the bid from Koemans, but the foul is called. And I think accepted. Yeah, there is quite a bit of contact coming through there on Valenci. Yep, accepted foul.
Tumbling bodies on the ground. The question is where the disc will end up. That is resolved as well. Valenci gets the disc.
So shooting deep. Gazit come back on, tries to chase it down. Easy juice. Israel looking for a 2-point lead. Fakes, goes back into the backfield instead. Har-Zion dumps to Shaloni, who takes the timeout.
Veteran move from Shaloni to not try and pressure anything, but just take a timeout, refocus and get an easy score for a second break in a row.
So another opportunity for the sides to get some heads reset and make some mental adjustments, and we shall do the same here in the booth. Don't go away.
Right now, he's gonna have to bid. Just a
football.
Huge layout block, unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed.
Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Spear.
Welcome back to under-20 mixed action here at the Joint Junior Ultimate Championships. Israel trying to fight their way up into the bronze medal game. Up 4-3 here on the Netherlands. Trying to flip the script after a 15-6 loss when these two sides met in the initial pool phase. Another stoppage here. Violation maybe? Oh, uncontested foul it seems.
Still kind of 0 with an uncontested foul.
They're checked in on the mark. Schuster-Shiloni. The up line is a little bit dicey, and they wanted to get the pop off there. Force comes a long way off. Can't access the break side with it. Now they find Schuster-Shiloni. Force gets back into position. Good pressure from the Netherlands. Forces the overthrow. The curse of the turnout strikes again.
Oh, well, they did complete a ton of passes before that overthrow. But you're right.
Raking inside shot into the hands of Mecking. Mecking goes backwards to Mulder. Fakes the lefty blade. Going with the high release, just evades the hands of the Israeli defender as it ends up with Koumans. Koumans to his sister, who rips it deep, and Mulder pulls it down with ease. Must admit, that caught me slightly off guard. Here's the blade looking to access that soft side of the end zone, and it just about ends up in Tuan Koumans' hands to level us up at 4s. Israel came so close to defending that.
They were very, very close to a second break in a row. But Netherlands showing composure this opportunity and taking it to even the score out again. So there are some other games going on around the field, and I'll just quickly update you on those. We are here, of course, the score 4-4 Israel under 20 mixed against the Netherlands. Also in the under 20 mixed division, Colombia has taken on Slovakia, and they have just gotten a 2-point lead. The score is 6-4. Just on the adjacent field, you can see a little bit of that in the background maybe, is the USA under 20 Open taking on Italy, and it is currently 5-5. So this is a close game. Just as close as Canada in France in the under-20 open division. Canada leading 5-4 in that. Other games going on is Austria and New Zealand in the under-20 open, where Austria is trailing by 4-6. And Colombia and Belgium in the under-20 open division. Colombia up to 7-5.
So this game a little bit lower scoring than some others around the grounds. It's been a slightly gritty contest. Salant still must be rising now, and there's the telltale huck. And it just calmly and helplessly almost settles in the turf.
So the Netherlands with a break opportunity of their own.
Trying to work down the far sideline to start. Coming underneath. Jade Hansma on the far sideline. Turns, pivots, fakes in field. Wind whipping up a little bit now. Van den Brink to Jade Hansma. Faking that inside backhand. Doesn't like it. The layout ricochets off the hands of Wiebe van den Brink.
And an injury call.
Yeah, he's going to take himself off. Just maybe winded himself a little bit on that landing.
Might have been that. A heroic bid for a very low disc, and he gets his hand around it, but can't wrap him and keep possession of that disc, and that gives it back to Israel.
I think you can credit the wind for that one.
Yeah, you can.
So picked up, trying to lash it into a narrow space. Anna does find Schuster Shaloni. He wants to get it up line. I believe this is going to be a foul called on that throw.
That just came out very bubbly. Uncontested, or accepted rather.
Yeah, coming out right in front of our commentary booth.
Trying to throw through the contact, but just too much there. Schuster Shaloni with the disc and back in his hands.
I think he changed his pivot foot in doing so, which I'm not a fan of, but
Travel.
there definitely was contact there. That one, oh, did he keep that up?
Yeah,
Everyone on the field seems happy that he did. And now he rips it deep, trying to ride the momentum, but it's too far out in front.
That's a pity. Good opportunity there for Israel. Gives the disc back to the Netherlands. It looks good. As the Netherlands have another opportunity. Loads of cuts at once for the Netherlands side with two people underneath it.
And Cappelletti, in the end, wasn't far away. I thought when the disc went up, it was a lost cause. But he nearly got there. Nearly, however, is still not.
Not enough.
Yeah.
In Frisbee, at least. Or this time around.
Salant picks it up and rips it downfield. Really good pressure underneath it. Koemans up against Lavie. And there is no call. You see it again. There is a little bit of bumping between the two of them.
But initiated from both sides and no call. Will give the disc back to Netherlands.
Broken off the line to Hansma. Lavie came in very late there, and that's going to leave a player free. Oh, this one sits up. And he's able to get back into position. On the far sideline. Now shooting for the end zone. Well weighted.
And Jade Hansma this time with the collection of the goal.
Yeah, it feels like the Dutch offense is, they work it quickly and zippily between the male handlers, and then they look for their females as scoring shots.
Yeah, what I thought about the Netherlands setup is that their handler core seems very experienced and safe, happy to play just with themselves, but they don't find a connection with the downfield cutters easily, and when they need cuts, they're often not really getting any good options. And on the other hand, when they're just resetting, there's everyone working at once and running around quite a bit, so they're missing rhythm and structure. Of course, they're just under 20 players and they still have a lot to learn, but some of them very experienced, playing for 4+ years.
At minimum.
At minimum, yeah.
Yeah,
some of them playing 6 to 8 years already.
Yeah, they're people starting at primary school age now. Oscar Mulder's been playing for 11 years. 11 at under 20s. I mean, come on. 11 years at under 20. Nuts.
Oh God. See, this makes me regret ever doing anything else than playing Frisbee. I missed so many years of playing, learning, playing Ultimate.
Salant catches the ball. The game now back on serve. Israel playing the Dutch a lot closer than they did in their first game. Scherer is exceedingly free. I suspect there's been a pick somewhere. So they're just going to catch up and resolve that.
Quite a lot of picks. I haven't seen too many this week, but both sides.
Yeah, have not got their offensive spacing sorted out.
Further proving my point.
Kaufman wants to reset, doesn't like it, then finds the swing through to Salant. Salant, lovely leading up line pass to Anna. Now ripped into the centre. Schuster Shiloni goes to Efron downfield, dump back. Salant trying to weasel his way free onto the reset. High stall. Wow. Somehow found a window there for Anna.
Really, wow.
Laid it into the centre. For Scherer. Tight dump to Kaufman. Israel moving the disc. But the Netherlands playing them tight. And then the break is zipped in there. And Efron catches to level us up again at 5. Nice, tight, close contest this.
Yeah, and so much good Ultimate we're seeing here. Great show of athleticism and body composure as the toe on the line, and these break throws just really show the skill young people at this age already have.
Yeah, we talked about how some people have been playing for over a decade. Naomi Efron hasn't even been playing a year.
Wow, that's impressive. Already representing your home nation at an international tournament with not even a year for Frisbee under your belt.
Not bad. Originally a basketball player, but decided to switch to Ultimate, wanting a sport with less contact after a series of concussions.
A series of concussions? That doesn't sound right.
3, I think. Yeah.
3 concussions.
I know.
That can't be healthy.
No, so hopefully, touch wood if you're suspicious, that yeah, found Ultimate a lot easier on the body.
Sometimes. Things can happen though. So
I have seen players at this tournament wearing like anti-concussion headgear.
That's a good idea. Especially if you had one before.
Yeah, if you're susceptible to it, it's probably a good idea.
So the USA have taken half on Italy 8-6. Whereas Colombia is up on Slovakia 6-5 now. To give you some results of the other games going on the pitches right now.
Offside call.
Maybe someone heard you, Benji.
In the sense of?
In the sense of you just... Oh, never mind. I think that was something I wanted to say.
As that throw just tails out of bounds, had the wrong edge of it.
I just really mixed up something there. Joram Mosnik, one of the Netherlands playing for the Netherlands, usually just texted me saying, hey, people really don't care about offsides. Don't they, in the youth division? And maybe they heard him, maybe they got a text from him.
The remote commentator's curse.
It's been a long week, guys. Shout out to Joram, though.
Tunic going downfield. Gazit resetting off back to Tunic. He was instantly recognizable with those dreadlocks flowing out the back of his cap. Israel trying to get it off the sideline here. They find Sapir. Sapir with the flick out into space. Any suggestions what's happened here?
Didn't see it.
Do you wonder if it's a pick? I feel like it might be a pick.
Might be. Yeah.
Yeah. Not for the first time this game.
Benji, really? Didn't even notice the 20 pick calls we had before.
It's it's disrupting the flow and rhythm a little bit. Israel on the far side. There's a foul over on this near side, I think. A couple of players have stopped. I think eventually they're going to find it.
It's going to be a short discussion.
Yeah, just trying to see who's involved. You can see it's Sapir for Israel. I'm not sure who the Dutch player is. I think Lievestro?
Lievestro, yeah, I think so. Having a discussion about this. And I actually like that they're taking the time to talk about it and figure out a way to communicate
we can't see the field
openly with each other. And
thank you. Just trying to clear ourselves a little view of the pitch.
Yeah, we have had struggles with this during the week. Players so excited to see what's happening that we can't see what's happening anymore.
Yeah, we're a little bit cramped and congested for room.
We thought about blind commentary, but I don't think that'll work.
It's not the same. Efron, the rising still count just about shovels that away. Valencia has the disc in his hands. Mark comes on. Vikram trying to move around. And he demonstrates that he wants the blade into the end zone. What a snag that is. Efron goes up big, pulls it down. Hip bumps in the celebration. Israel take the lead at 6-5. Already they've scored as many as they did in their last game against the Dutch.
Not bad. They've really shown up for this game, knowing that it counts a little bit more than this first game they played against them.
Yeah, knowing that a win here really helps their chances of playing for the gold medal. And they've come out firing on all cylinders.
Indeed, they have. Netherlands are gonna fight their way back in this game, though. They are so close, but some options just not connecting quite yet. Throwing discs out the side.
Yeah, the Dutch offense has just had so many kind of cheap, sloppy turnovers, I think. They'd probably be frustrated with that.
Yeah, and they have every right to be. Just have to work a little more in defense to get it back then. It's just an easy fix. But of course that's easier said than done. Just my suggestion for them.
Just don't throw turnovers and just get the disc.
Yep.
Easy.
Easy.
Good coaching advice there from Christina Obermeyer.
Of course. You can I'm not coaching yet, so if you want me to coach your team and give you some great advice, I'm open for that. You can shoot me a message on my Instagram at Christina Obermeyer. I'd love for anyone to engage. Also engage in our YouTube chat. We're having a look in there.
And actually, if you are following Christina on Instagram, while you're there, I highly recommend you follow UltiTV at ulti.tv, where we've been putting out some monster Insta reels from the action this week. And actually, you can find out all our socials in the new little advert that we've been playing. Aren't you lucky?
Netherlands just in front of their end zone now.
Yeah, what the Dutch would want would be a nice, just calm, clean hold and trying to get the chance to earn this break back quickly. Mulder. All goes with that high release lefty, and he's going to get away with it as well. Stuart Dirks makes the catch, but I think that was a bit spicier than it needed to be.
Well, I think that was perfectly weighted. That disc, he didn't even have to lay out for it. It was just a high release put, and it stood there and waited for him to run under it.
Just had to make sure that the Israel defender didn't get a piece of it first. To be fair, if you're going to put up a bit of a trust shot to anyone on the field, I'd probably go with Dirks. To be honest, he's only what, 6'6"?
Yeah, about that maybe. Did he fill out his player for him?
He did. Yeah, he said 6'6".
6'6". Oh,
I know, right? At under 20s.
2 meter and 3 centimeters for everyone who does count with normal measures.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, for some reason, we just do things in feet and inches in the UK.
Well,
and like miles and stuff. We've got this weird hybrid of metric and imperial.
I'm not gonna. No, that's fine. You do. We do the good things.
Right, I'm just waiting for everyone to start counting on metric time.
No, thank you.
You're not going to love my square clocks.
That's going to be great.
So 6 apiece, Israel up a break here.
Whitcomb with the big pull that once again.
Yeah, this time you could see, well, a lot of the disc went out this sideline, so I'll start from the far sideline. But that edge just drifts it away, and another brick for Israel.
Yeah, he released that a little too late, in my opinion. My professional opinion.
Too much OI on it.
Yeah.
Meaning outside it. Salan, as he has done a fair few times this game, starts from the brick mark. Shoots to Shaloni, initiates underneath. Swings back into the backfield. Salant has a wide open player in Jonathan Unna. Van den Brink eventually will apply the mark.
He's just trying to poach in the lanes a bit. Not a great decision to do that on Una, though.
Yeah, they took that. They spotted it and exploited it well. Kaufman with a cheeky little upline there and gets it with that push pass from Valenci. Kaufman looking downfield, not seeing it, and then in a tight space again, gets the reset off and that upline to Yuval Salant. I think they're going to go for it again. Not this time. The force comes across to stop it, but that opens up the space on the break side. Unna goes back to Salant. Salant shooting for the end zone. And making it a grab as well. Who else but Schuster Shaloni?
Of course, it's Schuster Shaloni. That connection working so well for the Israeli side. And that was definitely a trust shot.
I mean, when it's been going like this, why not? You know? He's, I think, replayed all the faith that's been shown in him this game. Continues to rack up the goals.
And it appears to be a timeout on the field, as Israel are one break away from half.
Yeah, you wonder if they'll cross a few players over, try and break here and see if they can get a little bit of comfort going into the second half, especially as they will receive to begin that as well. So, another chance to get a breather on in the booth, get a little bit out of the sun. Don't go anywhere. The end of the first half continues after the break.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Ulti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Welcome back to the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel. The Joint Juniors Ultimate Championship in action. Currently at the moment, World Juniors action, under 20 mixed. Israel looking to break to get an 8-6 half-time lead on the Netherlands, which, given how the first game between the two sides went, is a huge reversal of fortunes. See the Dutch coaches there giving some instructions. We wondered if Israel might cross some players over to the D-line.
Did they?
I can see Kaufman on the pitch. Usually we've seen her kind of marshal things on offense, so if they do get the turn, look for her to do a decent brunt of the handling work.
The men's side is trusted with Tunic and Gazit. Done some of the heavy lifting, but they're the normal D-line for Israel, I believe.
That's how we've seen it so far. And Kaufman will pull as well. It's going to land just beyond the brick mark. First pass centres to Maya. It's Priscilla Koemans in the backfield. Upline, oh, it's going to ricochet off Koeman's hands. Nearly rescued by a Dutch player downfield, but Israel have got the turn, and again, the Dutch offense continues to falter. Kaufman picks up. The lefty breaks downfield. Lavi finds a little bit of space to free up Gazit. Gazit fakes the first one, and then finds Lavi central for the second. And Lavi calls the timeout.
Timeout for the Israeli side. Which means the Dutch have taken this last timeout we had just during the 2 points.
It must have been, because otherwise I think Israel would have taken 3 timeouts. So, and if that was the case, I'm sure the Volunteers would be right on it.
Volunteers doing a good job here.
As always.
As always, of course.
At any big international event like this, it's kind of impossible to put on a successful tournament without the help of a team of volunteers, and it's exactly the same here in Wrocław. So you're just seeing some of the highlights from the first half so far. I think the key story we've seen has just been that the Dutch offense has just given Israel so many chances.
Indeed they have.
And after they kind of walloped them in the first game, it's a massive turnaround for Israel, which they deserve huge credit for.
Maybe they just didn't really start the game with the right mindset, thinking, oh, we were so good against them last time. This will be a piece of cake. but it has turned to be everything but a piece of cake for the Netherlands. Israel giving them a fair fight, pushing them really hard.
Yeah, cannot take anything for granted. So off the timeout, Lavie has the disc back in his hands now. Dumps it off to Tunic on that far side. Tunic holding the disc for a long time now. He might have to put something up. He's blading into the end zone. Oh, it is tipped. And neither Israel receiver laying out can come up with it.
So much effort from the Israel side.
But credit the Dutch defense there in the red zone, because it forced that high stall option. And both players hit the floor in anguish without the disc. Travel called. Disc will go back to Priscilla Koemans. Checked in. Oh, this is a riser. Will anyone get a hand on it? No. Krudov was the closest.
Tries to read that disc, but it just floats out of bounds as the wind is picking up. So is Kaufman for the Israeli side.
Kaufman resets to Tunic. Those dyed dreadlocks. Kaufman faking around. There's a stoppage about contact on this cut from Tunic, I think.
Might have bumped him a little bit after getting that disc up off of his hands.
Kaufman into the sender. Gazit comes underneath. Looking around, trying to find Kaufman. Oh, sells Koemans right down the river. Kaufman just taking the reset now, looking for the backhand. And they still can't connect.
Too hasty for the Israeli side. They managed to be so patient, resetting and resetting and waiting for the perfect cut, but then overcooking that disc just a little bit, giving it right back to the Netherlands.
Break towards the far side of the field, but it floats up. Kaufman steals it away. First cut downfield is Lavie. After the dump to Kaufman, she wants to blade towards the back of the end zone. And Gazit grabs it. Israel will break to take an 8-6 halftime lead.
What a messy point for both sides, and finally connecting. Also a bit of a toss shot, I gotta say, but I love the highlights. And what a way for Israel to break for half.
So, 15-6, the Netherlands won the first meeting between the two sides. Very different story here. Netherlands 6, Israel 8 is your halftime score. 7 minutes the halftime's here this week, so we're going to take an extended break. But don't go anywhere, because our coverage of the Joint Juniors Ultimate Championships continues on the other side.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe
Rip
what I'm
goes.
seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Hartlicker Elferkel. Fantastic run by Julia Lutz.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe Ulti TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of Ulti TV.
Regardez Ulti TV.
Deviens un membre d'Ulti TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Stop Ulti TV veľmi eroginkime Ultimate vendromene. Si quieres ayudar a Ulti TV, puedes ser miembro de Ulti TV.
Everyone, follow Ulti.tv on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love free speech. Just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på Ulti TV.
Became member
of Ulti TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec Ulti TV.
Like and subscribe, Ulti TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
with thousands of hours of experience.
And our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
We work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and new stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future, and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Right now,
He's gonna have to bid. Just a football. Huge layout block. Unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed.
Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Steer.
Welcome back to Wrocław, Poland, the venue for the Joint Juniors Ultimate Championships, and we have World Juniors action for you at the moment, with Israel threatening to pull the upset here after a 15-6 loss to the Netherlands yesterday. They're 8-6 up, beginning the second half here, and I believe receiving to begin the second half as well. So we are very much on upset alert. It's Benji Rees back with you in the booth. Still joined, delightfully, by Christina Obermeyer. What's your summary of that first half, Christina?
Well, the story has been Israel just more clinical on offense. It's pretty much all I can say. Netherlands' defense was really, really good, but their offense struggled at times, as assessed by viewers in the chat as well as us in the booth. And I think maybe the Netherlands just didn't expect Israel to come out firing and didn't respect that much pressure, but it really was all about pressure.
Feels like the white and blue have come out with a point to prove today, whereas the orange may have soured. Salant. Nice little inside throw there to Schuster-Shiloni. The Dutch going with a zone here, trying something different to slow down and frustrate Israel. Swing across. Thought for a second Vitkum was going to bid, but it was out of reach and it lands in Valenci's hands. Kaufman tries to initiate that cut up the line. Eventually gets the reset off. Would like to see Israel, if they want to dissect this, maybe move the disc a bit quicker.
Yeah, quick disc movement is definitely one of the ways to open up a zone set up like this. But as they have very nifty throwers.
Yeah, at the moment it's about precision rather than pace for the Israel offense, and that one, was that a foot block on the mark?
It looks like it. Great stuff by the Netherlands. Now they'll have to try and prove me wrong about that offense.
So picked up on the far sideline by Van den Brink. Swing into the centre to De Jong. De Jong.
Another pick call on the field.
This was one of the other themes of the first half, is that often the game struggled for rhythm and fluency because there were a lot of pick calls.
So the disc goes back to De Jong.
Now I wonder if the fact that their offense has been messy downfield and caused picks has caused the Dutch to kind of lose their focus maybe and lose that rhythm.
That's often what happens when you move your when you lose your continuating movement. That's what I wanted to say. This can really distract your offense from working.
Israel sideline getting as loud as possible. Jade Hansma. Little pop off into a very short area for Vitkum. Wide open swing to De Jong, which he takes. Oh, it's not De Jong, excuse me. That's Jade Hansma. The three Hansma siblings on this side. Coming underneath is Jade Hansma. Now Vitkum with the backhand blade out towards the far sideline. Van den Brink was sitting in that soft spot and now hammering. Oh, he lasered that hammer though. Came out far too vertical and he just stands there and does the old double teapot. Arms on his hips, frustrated with himself that he got that wrong.
I get the frustration. It has been a good run on offense for the Dutch, and now throwing that away, quite literally throwing it away, is a pity, but they'll have to just work more on defense now.
So the Dutch zone is going to get set back up here. Sticking with it after it generated the turn. Salant in his own end zone. Trying to fake to move them around. Goes back to Kaufman. Everything looking very congested and compressed. And Kaufman just wants to take the bailout shot deep. And Van den Brink was ready and waiting to pounce. That was a too lackadaisical from Rimkovic. The Polish import now living in Rotterdam. Represented Poland at under 17 level.
Interesting fact.
And has now switched from white and red to orange. Bladed over the top, all spun out of Shaloni's hands and ended up back in them. Sousa Shaloni goes to Scherer. Salant wants to blade that towards the far side. De Jong tries to apply as much pressure as she can. But Sousa Shaloni was always favourite to bring it down. And Israel extend their lead to 9-6 now.
Yeah, good pickup there from De Jong. Trying to get her body underneath that disc. But Sousa Shaloni just too good of a thrower at receiver, of course, not a thrower. Gets that disc down. Steady hands for Israel, and that is a lead.
Yeah, their first 3-point lead of the game. Rather than being pegged back, it just feels like at the moment they're pulling away. And that one, you see it spin out. Rimkovic tries his best, but it stays up. And Sousa Shaloni is able to rip it away.
Impressive stuff.
And this one, when Salant's got it, you feel like he's only ever got one thing in mind.
Rip it.
Yeah, see Shaloni there in space. Closest defenders have that size mismatch. And he catches to take the bookends. And a 9-6 lead.
I feel like bookends isn't really that big of a thing in Europe, is it?
Double happiness, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. I know you notice it every now and again, but it seems to be a really big deal for Sousa Shaloni, who also makes the hand signal for it, though.
Yeah, the hand signal above the head you don't necessarily see so much.
Don't even know what you want to call it.
Well, they're the bookends.
The hands in the head?
Yeah, they're like bookends.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's do it. Let's just...
We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
I think at this point it's too late to disagree anyway.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just questioning it.
It's like Universe Point. Love it or loathe it, it's here to stay.
Fair enough.
Janssen goes into the centre. Mecking. Looking downfield. In a narrow space here. Krudov. The lefty Mulder tries to zip that one in there. And just about manages to do so. Really good focus on the catch.
A big bid coming in from the side. But the catch made regardless. And that was beautiful offense from the Netherlands.
Yeah, far too frequently for the Dutch. They've got themselves into good positions and then fluffed their lines when getting to the end zone. But this time, it almost feels like they tried their best to throw it away. This is a really tough shot. But just about works out.
Just about. So, a clean hold for the Dutch.
Yeah, the first I think we've seen for a very, very long time. What's going on elsewhere around the ground?
So we've got Colombia and Slovakia, also in the under-20 mixed division.
Yeah, they are the other two teams in the bottom pool. So only the top of these four teams gets the chance to play for the bronze medal.
Colombia up 12-8. USA and Italy in the open division battling 13-10 for the USA right now. So it's pretty close, I want to say.
Yeah.
Also in the under-20 open division, there's Canada and France, +2 for Canada, 11-8. Colombia has taken the win over Belgium 15-10, and Austria is battling New Zealand, and they have come back from 3 breaks down to tie it at 11-11, which, you know, is a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah, in the under 17 mixed, there's Poland up, down 8-10 to Italy, and Belgium up 12-6 on Austria. Israel's offense again trying to find out a slightly different looking Dutch zone on this occasion. Got that triangle up top, 3 defenders behind, and then 1 controlling the deep space in Witcomb. But they've got through that front line. You can see that Valencia wanted to move that disc a bit quicker. Oh no, with the full fat milk. I'm not sure how kosher that is, but got too greedy with the shot over the top.
It was too sippy, and it hitting the wind a little bit, but just worked out so well to move that disc to the far side and giving up so much now. A bit too hasty.
You see here, just trying to get every single inch out of that one. Sees the thrower, sees the receiver that he likes, but that's a really tricky blade over the top because the wind is always going to push that. The Dutch will begin on this trapped sideline.
Israel doing a great job at clamming the stack, poaching off and not letting any options go 3, and there's another pick call. Stops play for the Netherlands.
The Dutch need to get this sorted out. A, because it will just give them more rhythm in this game, and B, if they want to try and fight for that bronze medal, you're never going to do it if your offense has to stop at least once, twice a point. Netherlands looking big. This one's floating towards the far sideline. Ripped down by Jade Hansma. Hansma dumps off. Now pop central. Witcomb finds Kammerbeek. That's Jasmine Kammerbeek rather than Gijs, her brother.
So many siblings on that team. Impressive.
Do see it a lot at youth level. If you can kind of get it into the family, then yeah, you see siblings kind of pick it up as well. Kammerbeek into the end zone. Oh, just too far. I'm a little surprised that Hansma didn't bid for it, but I guess maybe, you know, not too far out from a broken pelvis makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to risk another one.
But again, it's that final pass into the end zone for the Dutch that comes to bite them.
Yeah, they haven't been connecting on that quite a bit lately.
If they were able to convert, I don't know, even 50% of their end zone passes, they could be out of sight.
Maybe this is the difference between this game now and the one a few days ago.
Not even a few days ago, yesterday afternoon.
Oh, yesterday afternoon. I didn't know it was this close. Fun to being able to replay the same team.
Yeah, it's unusual, especially at week-long tournaments like this, but such is the quirks of the format. And it provides a really interesting test for players and coaches. So I'm sure they would have been talking about at our hostel yesterday night. Israel is staying there as well. I say hostel, I think it's student dorms rather than...
Student dorms, yeah. But, you know, it's a bed, it works.
That one's going to float up and ripped away. New Zealand not... New Zealand? What did I say? New Zealand? Netherlands. Not quite in the end zone just yet. Now they are. That one finally works out. It's a break for the Dutch. 9-8. I had flashbacks to the Callahan earlier in the week. Really good play made high by Hansma. He wasn't in the end zone, but that time they kept their focus. And they do punch it in. They trail by just 1 now at 9-8.
New Zealand, on the other hand, not sending a team in the mixed division, just in the open division. Might have been thinking about the Austria game, have you, Benji?
The what?
The Austria game. Against New Zealand, right now.
No, I haven't been thinking about that at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
No side has entered teams into all 3 divisions in under-20s.
Interesting.
I think the idea is generally that if you can't, the mixed is kind of there if you can't put a team together for both genders. I think actually the only team that we're seeing, the only nation we're seeing that put a team into all 3 divisions in either age bracket is Belgium have all 3 under-17 teams, but the Belgians really like to they try to bring as many people as possible. So I think a lot of their strength is in mixed, and the single-gender divisions are a little bit weaker for them.
But I love that idea though, because you get so much experience.
Oh yeah, I'm fully on board with it. You know, the goal isn't always to win at these, especially at youth level. It's about kind of building up your young charges as players and as people as well. It looks like USA have polished obviously in the game on the field beyond this one.
15-10 for the USA side. Italy beating them, giving them a battle, probably the closest game the US has played so far, but they
Definitely
are,
is.
as always, a powerhouse when it comes to those under-20 events.
So one to keep an eye on later in the week. Good pull there from the Dutch. Salant's first pass goes to Valenzi. More zone from the Dutch. They've got Dirks, who is an absolute monster on the mark. That one over the top, ripped down by Schuster-Shaloni. Popping it off. I'd like to see Dirks maybe kind of really utilise that wingspan on the mark a bit more. Try and make himself as fearsome as possible. Really get those arms out wide, get those legs involved. Just not give a safe release point. Valenci slashes through the cup.
There's a travel call.
Yeah,
field.
A little too much go and not enough throw on the throw and go, I guess.
This will go back to Schuster-Shaloni.
It's Valencia, I think, actually, with the disc. But Schuster-Shaloni is the option now. You see him put air underneath it, and Efron brings it down instead. Going back to Kaufman. Some paramedics coming across the field. Not sure what's happened there.
I don't think they're familiar with the rules of Ultimate.
I think they thought, oh, there's no one in the back half, so we'll just run across. Trying to float that one. This could be risky. Van den Hoed very nearly got there.
Coach saying, no, 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 not risky. Not sure if I agree.
Valenci blades to Efron downfield. Back to Schuster-Shaloni, dumping to Valenci. Playing it very calm, very still. Back to Kaufman. Faking the scuba.
Oh, I thought she'd have thrown that.
On the end zone line, Valenci goes to Efron for the score. That Dutch zone didn't seem to cause them as many problems as I would have thought it might do. That front four, it felt like they were all connected to each other, but they weren't necessarily aware to how Israel was spacing themselves.
Yeah, they didn't really put a lot of pressure on the handler set, and when someone pushed into the cup to just get a reset and also make some yards, they, rather than closing in and trying to prevent that, they moved away to let that disc go through. And then every now and then they managed a quick pop pass into the middle after the cup opened a little bit to manage that throw. Did you see that? They open up here and then they get
leave
that
that
continuation.
space through.
Exactly.
But especially when you've got such physicality potentially in that front line of defense, it's a little bit, kind of leaves you pondering why they couldn't make more of it.
So Melissa Arsenault asking in the chat about the game Canada and Italy. It will be on the WFDF channel. It was streamed, and you can still see it later on. So I think you can also go to our Instagram, and there will be the link for it.
But all of the games for this week from the under-20 division that we stream, you can watch back on demand.
For free, as long as you want to.
Yeah, right here on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel with the under-17 games live on the Ulti TV YouTube channel. If you go to the past live stream section of the videos, then you can see the Canada-Italy game already. Here's a deep shot. That is knocked away by Sapir. Foul is called.
Big put, a risky shot as well. And there's going to be a discussion about the physicality in this play.
A couple of players having a look at the replay monitor to see if they can get a better shot. I must admit I didn't get the best look at it first time round. You're excited because Austria have pulled ahead against New Zealand in the Under-20 Open Division.
13-12 currently.
Elsewhere in the U20 mixed, Colombia 12, Slovakia 9. So it looks like an accepted foul, and that means that Jade Hansma will keep possession here. Checked in. There's a reset wide open on this near side, and that's where they go. Gijs Kammerbeek. Swinging it into the backfield. You can see they're just sitting off the handlers a little bit slightly, just trying to make sure that they can gum up those lanes downfield. Jasmine Kammerbeek. Oh, and a tight throw there.
Again, so much traffic and such little space for the Netherlands. I'm not surprised that the shot got into nowhere and only hit the ground, because there was no real option anywhere.
Here's the deep shot from Israel, and no one's going to catch up to that.
Bit too far. Got it trigger happy there, and that's another opportunity for the Dutch.
Picked up by Van den Brink. Here's another tall figure of Gijs Kammerbeek. Just pops that off into the backfield, and now they're trying to access the break side. Thank you. Van den Brink gets the disc back. He wants to put it deep, trying to get it to come back in down the far sideline. The defender tapped it, and they did not need to do so there. So the Dutch will actually get the field position that maybe they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I agree. They didn't have to do this, but on the other hand, I've seen crazy plays this week, and look at that. It could have been close to like a grab, maybe?
It would have been a hell of a play had they been able to do so. You could see that the Israel coach, I think, was saying it's going to come in all the way back here, but in the end it
didn't.
No, because the defender got a hand on it.
So Israel able to work it all the way down the field. Picked up the disc in the middle. Now good field possession for them.
Anna wants to blade this one. Oh, it might have been tipped round the corner, and the trailing edge grab from Tunic.
What a grab.
And Tunic takes the timeout.
Veteran move by the young Israeli player.
Yeah, wants to get an end zone play set up here. Restore their 3-point lead, which this late in the game would be really tough to come back from. We're going to take a little breather here in the booth. Don't go anywhere.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, UltiTV, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
Under 20 open mixed division action. Here, Netherlands versus Israel. I see there's been a little bit of discussion in the chat about the Netherlands under 17 open game that's going to be up next. Under 17 games are on UltiTV's YouTube channel, but here on the WFDF we have all of the under 20 action, including this game here. Israel have the disc right outside the Dutch end zone, looking to break to take an 11-8 lead. This game has followed a very different script than the 15-6 hammering the Netherlands put on yesterday. The first pass is a reset to Ona. He wants to blade that one down the side to Tunic. Gets it past the bidding Kamabake. And Israel will indeed get that break. They're up 3 with about 4 minutes left till the cap comes on.
A big layout attempt by the Dutch player, but just not enough pressure for the Israelis to not come up with that disc. Get that break.
Yeah, you're seeing it here on the replay.
Oh, that was close.
Wasn't far away.
Good use of the timeout here for the Israeli side this time. It working out.
Yeah, we've seen both sides take timeouts in the red zone and not capitalize on them, but that time it worked like a charm.
Yeah, it did. Both teams still getting instructions by their coaches on what to do next.
Yeah, the Dutch have dug themselves into a deep hole. Kind of get the feeling that if Israel were to get another break, it could be game over. If not literally, then at least metaphorically. So, it's Valencia getting ready to pull for Israel. Going with that roll curving backhand. Bounces, spins towards the Dutch end zone. Loud chance for defense from the Israel sideline. Centering pass. Janssen can't connect with Mulder.
Bit of a hasty decision there. Trying to sneak it in this very tight channel and just bit behind the defender, the thrower, receiver, whatever.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah, thanks.
And there is a stoppage here for a foul. So just to go into a little bit of discussion, I think, as to what the resolution of this will be. It stays with Israel. Lavi, with the bleached blonde hair, goes to Schuster Shaloni. Sits a low flat one out into space, and a Netherlands defender was ready and waiting for it. Nice heads up D from the Dutch.
There's a foul call on the field, but apparently retracted because of that turnover, and the Dutch get another opportunity for a hold.
Netherlands trying to move the disc quickly. Dirks catching the blade. Going back into the backfield to Mulder.
Nice switching by the Israeli side.
Here's Janssen. Downfield. Meyer finds Vayan, wants to try and squeeze that one in, but you can see the hands on the head. Frustration again for the Netherlands. They just have not got it right in the red zone today. I think as well we heard I heard the whistle there to indicate that cap will come on at the end of this point. So we'll have 12-8 game to 13, or 11-9 game to 12, and I think you'd know which either side would prefer.
First, Israel have to make up quite a lot of space here, as they're still in their own end zone line.
Yeah, the Dutch will try and get the short field turnover, but there is the hand block from the long arms of Sjoerd Dries. Oh, it's Dirks, excuse me. Just gets a big palm on that one, and the Netherlands will take the timeout here.
We'll see if that can works out as well for them as it did for the Israeli side in the previous point.
Yeah, 11-8 Israel lead. Cap will come on after this point, but who that point goes to, we will have to wait and see after the break.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, UltiTV, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
So, coming in off the timeout, Netherlands against Israel. Netherlands down 8-11. The cap comes on at the end of this point. Meyer is picking up. Disc chucked in. Nice inside break. It floats over everyone and pulled down by Marcia Fayen. Well, I'm pretty sure that's not how they drew it up, but they will take it at this stage. Absolutely, they will take it.
Yeah, that works.
Marcia Fayen has represented the Netherlands on this stage before. Played EYUC in 2017. That was in the Netherlands in Veenendaal, and in 2019, which was here in Wrocław. So there's a career highlight, getting to win the Spirit Prize at EYUC 2019, and walking into the Olympic Stadium behind us to receive the prize with her teammates.
I bet that was something for her. Also won the Spirit Prize once. Can you imagine? That was fun. So I know how that feels.
Yeah, I can't say I've won a Spirit Prize at EYUC because I never played, but winning Spirit is always a good moment. You don't necessarily go out and say, yeah, we're going to try so hard to win Spirit, but
oh, I don't think anyone ever said that.
But it's, you know, obviously you try your utmost to continue to be well spirited throughout the tournament.
Of course you
do. And if you get a prize at the end of it, it's just kind of nice to be it means more because it's voted on and scored by the other teams and your competitors.
It's just a big chunk of this playing frisbee thing, the spirit.
Here's the pull from the Netherlands. Oh, this is a horrible backhand blade to field. But it rolls to a stop. Salant picks up. First pass goes to Unna. 11-9 Israel, game to 12. There's a foul call away from the disc. We've been seeing the spirit captains for the two sides engaged in discussion about this on the sideline, and now it's come onto the field as well. I think just maybe not happy with the level of contact that's happening off the disc.
It seemed like it. Discussing this during play is always really hard when usually for the under 17 and under 20 division your best players are also the people captaining and spirit captaining. Due to their experience, you're missing some of the better players on the field as they are sorting out the surroundings. But the disc will stay apparently with we'll go back actually to the last person. And it will the stock count will start at 0.
So checked in and Valenci picks up. Goes to Schuster Shaloni. Fakes that flick. Eyes locked downfield. Eventually he wants to shoot for Valenci, but that's always overthrown.
Yeah, that was a very zippy, low throw that he would have, needed some magic to come down with that.
Yeah, he taps his hand on his chest, takes ownership of his mistake. My bad, he acknowledges. So both sides engaged in chants on the sidelines. And the Dutch want to rip it deep. Who's going to come down with it? Schuster Shaloni read it well. Israel will pick up again, another chance to ice the game.
Intensity is high here.
Just starting by playing it in the backfield.
Another call gives the disc back.
It's been a game that has really lacked rhythm and fluency.
Indeed it has.
Salant, pops that one up, but it's ripped away. There was going to be a stall out anyway, but the Dutch will just take the turnover. Van den Brink. Got the gender mismatch on the mark, but forcing the high stall. Scuba to the back of the end zone. The Dutch pull within 1.
De Jong all alone in the back of the end zone here, catching that scuba with 2 hands steadily and closing the gap between the Netherlands and Israel.
Netherlands not done yet.
No, they're not. And as we might see the start of a comeback here, looking at the results, we see Colombia and Slovakia also seeing a kind of an upset as Slovakia has closed the gap to 12 to 13.
All tight there as well. Just seeing there with a taller mark, maybe that scuba is kind of a bit dissuaded from going. But it's a position that I can sympathise with Kaufman in, having been frequently marked up against taller players, that sometimes when they release those overheads, there's kind of nothing you can do. Just try to be as much of a nuisance as possible.
Yeah, I do like the idea of putting a smaller defender in the marking handler space and the bigger towering defenders into the end zone.
See, I'm off sometimes, especially if you've got a superstar receiver. I might be less focused on who's marking them and more focused on who's marking the throwers. Try and cut it out at source. It's a different strokes approach.
Can try different things and see what works.
Kaufman faking the backhand, goes underneath to Efron. In front of Unna. Salant turns, activates,
Another
pick downfield. Yeah, you can see the frustration from both sides, really, that this continues to occur.
Yeah, it just really stops your flow and hurts your offensive possession.
Just checked in by Maya on the mark. Maya to Schuster-Shaloni. Just pops that one off to Unna. On this sideline, see they're forcing very flat, trying to stop those big hucks going up. Schuster-Shaloni comes underneath. Turns, can he find an option? The rising stall count, Salant's going to go up line here, but goes short to Kaufman instead. Salant comes into the backfield. Now there's the big shot. It's hanging underneath. He's going to come down with it. Schuster-Shaloni does, but he's not in the end zone just yet. Israel on the precipice of the upset. Can they get the disc off? Dishing to Salant. Trying to be as big as possible on this force. Stall count rising. Laying out Schuster-Shaloni for the Israel win.
He's doing some push-ups. I thought he had maybe lost that disc there. But that is a goal to win for Israel.
What a turnaround. After a 15-6 defeat to the Netherlands yesterday, Israel turn out 12-10 winners here today. What a performance from them.
Could be the story of the tournament here. Netherlands are frustrated. Visibly frustrated.
Yeah, they must feel, especially given how it went yesterday, that not sure how things changed so dramatically.
Just a different day, different game.
I think it shows the parity that we've seen in this division, which is very exciting for everyone.
True.
Netherlands still not out of the running for the bronze medal yet, but you feel they'd have to win their other two games in this bottom pool to stand any chance. Thanks for watching our coverage of the Joint Juniors Ultimate Championship here on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel. Up next, we've got an under-17s game in the Open Division between the Netherlands and Switzerland, and the under-17s action takes place on the Ulti TV YouTube channel, so hopefully we will see you over there. For Christina Obermeyer and the rest of our Ulti TV crew, I am Benjamin Rees, saying we will see you on the other side.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Ulti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Ulti.tv